in one of the most hazardous and unregulated occupations of them all. CBS's Cynthia Bowers reports from the farm for Eye on America.
There are pivotal times in everyone's career and their lives where you better be ready to reinvent yourself or you're going to go under.
His attorney's research turned up a trail of tragedy.
And in my life, and I suspect in your lives, there have been many times where failure is not an option.
Names of people, dates, lost an arm, and they don't do anything about it.
Now everybody to the propaganda.
Stuart Kritzer is a professional speaker and success strategist.
What's the point in getting off the couch in life, in stretching, in going beyond what you typically do? Are we entrepreneurs? Do we have the soul of an entrepreneur? Are you ready for this? Are you ready to commit? Do you have the commitment? Do you have the passion? And do you have the fear of failure that it takes to drive you to get up every single morning? And it's easy to get up when business is good. I'm more interested in talking to you about what happens when business is bad.
His keynote is charged with action. He challenges audiences to reclaim their potential through dynamic personal leadership.
The flip side is that there are those of us, and I'm guilty, we have our BlackBerries and we're networked and we're connected and we want to be the top and we want to be the alpha dog and we want to do bigger and better and faster and we want to reach and we want to just move. And that's all good. And all that A-type obsessive compulsive personality, it can work. It's got a positive side to it that's useful. But there's another side to it. The other side to it is that it tends to make us distracted from some of the other no less important parts of our lives. Family, spouses, relationships, community. These are things that are no less important than being that top dog. The problem with being overly identified with what it is you do is that you're only as good as your last win, your last trial, your last sale, all right? That's the problem. So you've got to strike a balance between Charlie, who got a little too mellow with his life, and Mr. or Ms. Obsessive Compulsive, this is what counts, and in my spare time I'll take care of the rest of my life.
Purpose, meaning, desire, and commitment to the end. Lessons Stuart Kritzer believes can become instinctive behaviors to getting off the couch and get moving.
If you give other people what they want, they'll give you what you want. And it works. It's worked for me time and time again. It worked for me when I was a school teacher 30 some odd years ago. It worked for me as a lawyer. It worked for me as a businessman. It works for me in interpersonal relationships. It even works with me with my kids. Not as often as I would like, but it does. And I know it can work for you.
Through his lifetime as an inner-city school teacher, successful attorney, and businessman, Stuart has captured meaningful life lessons for success and abundance, such as give people what they want.
Fast forward, I go to Colorado. I practice law. I'm doing well for a while. Doing just fine. I get married, I have a family, I have kids. Everything is cool, right? Then I start hitting some bumps. Why? Circumstances changed. Business changed. And I was worried. I was worried. What was going on? I started getting really, really anxious. I had a credit line, and I'm going to share something with you, very personal. I was drawing on $100,000 on my credit line. That's a lot of dough. That's enough to make anybody nervous. Made me nervous. I'd get up in the morning. I was so nervous, I'd be physically sick every morning. This is the honest-to-goodness truth. One morning I went outside, I fed the dog, and I was in that kind of seriously funked out period, you know, where it's like nothing was working. I was despondent. It was like, I can't make it work. Well, I'll tell you what I did. I went to the office, I said, what am I going to do? Isn't going to get it. So I figured out a new way to do business.